Welcome to another episode of Out of the Pods. I'm Deep Tea.
And I'm Natalie, and happy Wednesday.
I feel really happy. That's why I dressed sunshiny today. I'm wearing yellow.
I just got my brows laminated before this, like literally right before this, like probably 20 minutes ago.
Is this your first time?
This is my second time.
Okay.
I'm actually obsessed. My eyebrows are, what's the English way to say this? When you say it in Korean, when you're like, everything's up, you say manse.
Okay.
It means like, I think like reaching up or something, but it's like a saying.
Okay. Interesting. I don't think there's an English equivalent.
Yeah, well, okay, we'll just forget about that. But yeah, no, this is my second time and I low-key love it. Not how they look right now because they look crazy, but like when, you know, when you give it a few days and you could start styling it however you want to, they look pretty good.
Okay. I've never gotten my eyebrows laminated. I feel like I've been blessed with just
really good eyebrows. Is that what you want to say?
I'm gonna say yes because Indians do it top tier. I'm not gonna lie. It's easy to perfect with threading, but yeah. I've never done anything besides threading. Even my mom will give me an eyebrow pencil and she's like, oh, you should fill in these. I was like, no, I did it one time and it made me feel like I was a cartoon character.
Oh, you don't fill in your eyebrows?
No.
Okay, so I barely do my eyebrows, but there's not much to work with. Like I'm like a sparsy McSpartsy, you know what I'm saying? Like you're just, there's not much to pluck, there's not much to wax, maybe like one hair here and there that like just comes out of the blue. Mm-hmm. So that's the reason why I laminated my eyebrows because it's supposed to make them look fuller. Like I still have like the 1990s thin eyebrows. Like I was just born with them, you know?
Yes, I know what you mean. And also, this is so weird, but I've seen this trend where women get their eyebrows tattooed. Have you seen this?
Everyone gets their eyebrows tattooed.
What
I
is
don't,
that?
But like a lot of people do.
That's crazy work to me. I would never in a million years ever do that. I don't think I could.
I think some people do it really well. There's others that are just like a little, you know, just did a little bit too much. Yeah. The only reason I would never, it's like because we have tattoos, you know, well, you don't have a tattoo you regret, but I do. And I only have one. Well, I just have one tattoo in general and I regret it. I would never get something permanently tattooed ever again because like styles change, things change. Like what if the thin eyebrow comes back and you have like tattooed on like really fluffy brows? Like, you know, just
well, this is exactly why I feel like I don't want to follow any trends. Trends always change. Do what is timeless and classic. That's what I like to stick with. But then again, I don't know what
you're
really
like,
that entails.
What does that mean?
That means keep everything natural.
Keep everything. I always think about like, what if like thin lips come into style? Like, what if we're like over lip filler?
Oh, it's already happening. I feel like I've seen at least 3 to 4 influencers who've talked about this where they're getting their lips dissolved. And they were making a video about
their
how
whole lips.
I think
just take the entire lip off.
Yeah. And it's like a pretty famous TikTok influencer. And she was talking about how like it feels weird, but like, I feel like it's already happening. That is the trend.
Yeah.
But again, see, like I would never mess with my face because of a trend. Also, I don't think my mom would like allow me inside the house.
You are 34 years old. You don't need your mom's permission for
It's an
anything.
Indian household, Natalie, and you're Asian. You should understand this. I will not be allowed to set foot in my house.
Definitely pull like a thing if like my parents are like, you can't do that. And I was like, who's going to stop me?
Normally, I am a very rebellious person, but the fact that in my 34 years being alive, every single moment where I have gone against my parents has backfired. So I'm like
you're always like, you're right.
Yeah.
You were right.
Yeah.
100%.
I'm getting to that age now where I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to listen to my mommy.
Yeah. Like my parents were like, if you get a tattoo, you're going to regret it. Yeah. Like you're going to regret it. But I was like, no, I won't. Like I'm an adult. Yeah. And what do you know?
Honestly, I
Big
feel
regrets.
Like as an Asian daughter, I will always be like, you know, I will always have my parents spot check things. I don't know why I said spot check, but like any decision I make, I'm calling my parents and being like, hey.
No, I totally get it because my dad will always be my emergency contact.
Oh,
like if I get a husband, most likely not. You know, like it's always going to be my dad.
I completely agree. I feel like even my TV broke down this week and I had to call my dad. I was like, Dad, the TV's not working. I already tried everything on Google. And he's like, hey, walks you through the steps.
He's like, I don't really know that much either, but.
No, that man knows everything. Also, speaking of emergency contacts, I feel like in my friend groups, contact to go to for people who need like pet sitting.
Speaking of emergency contacts,
I feel like I am the emergency pet watcher.
No, I feel like you are everyone's emergency contact in your friend group.
Honestly, if it wasn't for my dad, I would be my own emergency contact too, because I don't need anybody.
That's actually true.
But I was pet sitting this past weekend.
Yeah.
And I love doing that because I can cosplay as, you know, hey, I'm going to go live at my friend's place. And it's so fun. Like, she has such a nice apartment, and it was so nice to hang out with Nico, her dog. And every time I took Nico on a walk, and Nico is a Bernese mountain dog, so he's a big
He's
boy.
huge, yeah. I've met him. He's a big furry boy.
He is,
let me tell you.
Such a sweetheart, like a sweetheart at heart,
cute.
but no one knows that, right? So I'm walking my dog. He's mine now because I watched him for 3 days. No, I'm walking Nico, and there are so many people that come up to me and talk to me because of him. Because obviously, normally when I walk around, no one's saying shit to me.
Yeah.
And I've watched other friends' dogs, and they're like much smaller, like a small little doggy like Pixel, like a small fluffy white dog. Not that many people approach me, but something about a big dog reels people in to start chatting.
Like men?
A lot of men, yes.
Like single men?
Single men, especially if I go to the dog park. There's so many men out there just like, you know.
Like, what do they say? Like, wow, your dog is so big.
No, they're like, oh my gosh, I love your dog. He's beautiful. And I'm like, oh, I'm an auntie. I'm just like babysitting. And then we'll check up.
I'm not a mommy. I'm an auntie.
Yeah. Mommy? Mamacita? The Love Islanders know what that means.
Yeah.
But no, I was thinking about it, and I was like, okay, I want to start fostering dogs.
I have friends who have met their husbands at a dog park or when they were walking their dog.
I love that.
And I was like, oh, wow, like, should I get a dog?
Yeah.
That must be so fun. Like, you just see the same person over and over again at the dog park or on your walks, like within your neighborhood.
Absolutely. And I feel like I made a regular friend already being there for 3 days, because I see them all the time and they're walking at the same time.
Yeah.
It's the same, like, you know, obviously schedule and the same dog park or like same route. And I'm like, oh, hi, there's that cute man.
It's like that movie Lady and the Tramp, where Lady's owner, this woman, like meets her husband as he's walking a dog, I think.
Yeah, okay.
And then they get married, and then they have a baby, and she's like no one pays attention to Lady.
Okay, this is crazy, but I've never
really
watched
sad.
Lady and the Tramp. Besides the whole spaghetti scene, I don't know Lady and the Tramp.
Isn't that crazy how that's like a thing for humans? Like, that's like love, but it came from this like dog movie.
Well, I also truly do believe that you and your dog start to look alike after a while. Like, it says a lot about your personality based on the dog you have.
Then I'd literally have such a negative, bitchy ass dog.
Well,
Like, I feel like my dog would just be like, I'm never getting out of my doggy bed. You don't have to walk me at 6 a.m. It'd be like, you could do it at 12.
honestly, that's my brother and sister-in-law's dog.
Really?
Yes. Like, Vino will not. Well, he runs his own schedule, and he's so like house dog. I was like, it is, because they live in Texas. It's 100+ degrees. He's like, I am not going outside.
That'd be my dog.
Yeah.
Be like, I'm not going out there. I'll be peeing right here. I'll actually use the human toilet.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Pixel, our family dog, literally, he's so good. He walks at least 3 miles a day in the house.
Do you think Pixel looks like you?
Do
Do you think his white fur and like mannish features, like he's starting to...
What are you trying to say? That I have mannish features?
No,
How dare you?
I was trying to make a point like he doesn't look like you because he's a white man, pretty much. He's a white man in a dog's body.
I did do that AI trend where I turned Pixel into a human, and it was scary.
Was he like a white man?
White man with like curly ass hair. I feel like we have similar personalities. I feel like dog personalities are a thing. But in conclusion, I think I'm going to be fostering dogs, and I think I'm going to... Actually, there's no discrimination against what dog I get. This is my sign. I'm going to do it.
Yeah. You might be meeting your husband.
Yeah, because you know I can't be on Hinge. I'm over that shit. I had to pause that profile.
Well, you might be off Hinge, but you have some dates coming up. From Hinge, let's not act like you're so over Hinge. Don't delete the app, because you might be marrying one of these men and you want to screenshot, you know, the conversation and put it on a napkin on your wedding.
Honestly, that makes me want to cringe a little. Can you imagine?
No, I don't think that's cringy. I've seen weddings on social media where like the couple met on Hinge and they print out the conversations and put it on the napkins like at their wedding reception, and it's really cute.
It is really cute, and there is like absolutely no offense to anybody who finds their person on Hinge, but why do I feel like it's just not for me? I don't know why.
What do you mean? You're literally going on dates from Hinge.
I know.
Don't act like you're too good for Hinge, okay?
I'm totally not. I just hate the fact that it didn't happen organically, but that's on me.
I feel like we're living in a digital world. AI's taking over. Are we even living in real life? Like, this might be a dream. I might be hooked up to like a computer somewhere, and this is just like a simulation.
Oh, absolutely. I always think that we're in a simulation.
So exactly. So it's like kind of like, I don't know, it's like kind of all organically.
Yeah, but like I'm speaking to whoever's running the simulation right now and saying, hey, by the way, I don't want to meet my person online.
What if I just disappeared into pixels and I was like, beep, pop, boop, boop.
Oh, I don't know what my algorithm is, but I do find videos where people will be like, I think I'm in a simulation, and people are just like paused.
What if I was like,
exactly. Oh, bitch, I would freak out. I'd be like,
you'd be like,
the fuck out of here, demon.
No, you'd be like, thank God. Because like I always wanted her to shut down at some point.
Just for a couple seconds, you know.
So like,
reboot.
And you're like, oh gosh. So you're like, finally she stopped talking.
I'm crying.
I do love that we're both in our dating era, because like, I don't know, don't you love it when like, you know, you're dating and your friends are dating, and you could talk about like dating stories and like things that are like red flags or green flags, or like you kind of learn from each other.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm super happy that we're both kind of in similar phases of life.
Yes.
It's meant to be, because all of my friends are in relationships, and I'm so sick of seventh wheeling, fifth wheeling, third wheeling. I'm so over it.
You know, I love third wheeling though.
Oh, I have perfected it at this point. Like, I am their adopted child.
No, 100%.
But after a year of doing it, I think I'm like, okay, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
You know?
No, totally.
So that's why I'm happy that we're in that phase together. I think we have all experienced some financial anxiety in our lives, but I've realized that worrying about it doesn't resolve anything. But what can help is Earnin. Earnin is an app that can empower you to live life to the fullest by giving you access to your pay as you work, up to $150 per day with a max of $750 between paydays. Just download the Earnin app and verify your paycheck. Then access up to $150 a day as you work and leave an optional tip. Any money you access plus tips are automatically repaid from your next paycheck. So we all have those months where the bills are stacking up, whether you're covering medical bills, making a big move, or planning a birthday party for someone. Earnin is there when you need a little bit of extra breathing room. So download Earnin today, spelled EARNIN in the Google Play or Apple App Store. When you download the Earnin app, type in Out of the Pods under podcast when you sign up. It'll really help the show. Out of the Pods under podcast. Earnin is a financial technology company, not a bank. Cash-outs are based on your available earnings. Standard cash-outs take 1 to 2 business days with no mandatory fees. Option to expedite your transfer for a fee. Tips are voluntary and don't affect the service. See the cash-out user agreement for details. Services not available in all states.
Though I did want to ask you, do you think that at our age, like we still need a texting strategy? Because I've kind of felt it from the guys that I'm dating. Like, for example, I don't really care like the time it takes me to text. Like, I don't put thought into that. Like, if I'm on my phone and I get a text and I could answer right away, I'll like just shoot off a text. I won't proofread it or anything. It's just like,
oh yeah, I'm aware. Sometimes I'll get the most random text from you and I'm like, bitch, you mad at me? Like, you good? And then I'm like, nah, it's just Natalie.
Yeah, it's like I don't even know if the word is like I'm blunt via text. I just like whatever is going through my mind, I send it off and I don't realize like how it's coming off. But I know like my friends just know that's how I text.
There's also like no exclamation points. Thank God there's no periods. I would freak if you sent me a
period. I had a period that then I'm really pissed. Then I'm pissed.
Yes. Or if you send me a long paragraph, I'm like, oh, we have a discussion coming.
No. I sent like multiple bubbles, you know? Like I'm just like
we're good.
But no, it's bad. Like I'm a bad texter, not that I don't respond, but it's like the way I text, like I'll type out you or I'll just use the letter U. Like there's no consistency there. I definitely have a lot of spelling mistakes. Like I don't proofread my text either when I send.
Oh yeah.
But anyways, when I'm like texting men that I'm like dating, same thing. Like
You're the same way.
Same way.
Yeah.
And But I've seen like, okay, so let's say I text right away, they'll respond right away. But let's say like I don't respond after that for 2 hours, they'll wait 2 hours.
Yes.
And it got to a point where I was like, wait a minute, every guy I'm dating that I'm texting is doing that to me, like matching the way I text.
Yeah, I am very much match the energy with whoever I'm talking to. And I have a texting strategy every time.
What's your texting strategy?
I like to leave things mysterious, like especially in the early stages of dating or talking, where you're like, you haven't gone on your first date or you've only had a couple dates. 100% I'm not giving them my full energy. Like, I need you to be thinking about what I'm up to. I don't want to tell you every detail of my life. Hey, good morning. I woke up today. I'm about to go work out. I'm about to do this. Like, no, none of that. It's got to be strategic in the early stages. And I don't care what anyone says.
But that's why I text so fast without proofreading, because I'm not giving them any energy.
Well, the thing is, the illusion is that you're giving it energy because you're texting right away. That's just in my head how I think.
Like, I need to be waiting.
Yeah. Okay. So this is so
funny.
am
I coming off desperate?
No, because I think it depends on the person. And not to out you too much, but the person that you're talking to, it's like the energy is matched where he'll also text you back really fast. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the other guy.
Yeah,
but the other guy matches, like, mirrors.
Yeah. Mirrors your energy. Well, yeah. See, so you have two examples right there. It really just depends on the person.
Yeah, but the other guy's pissing me off. Like, the fact I feel like he has a texting strategy, like he's being a little bit like manipulative via text is like making me annoyed.
Okay, but it's not manipulation, it's playing the game because he doesn't want to come off
God, what's the game?
Because he doesn't want to come off too desperate, especially if you're taking hours to respond also.
Well, it's because I'm taking a nap.
He doesn't know what the fuck you're doing.
And then I'll say, hey, sorry, I was taking a nap.
No, I know. But like, okay, to me, like, in my head.
He's like, a 4-hour nap? He goes, that's like a night of sleep. And I was like, no, it was a 4-hour nap.
See, in my head, I'd be like, oh, she's lying. She was doing something else. And this is so bad, but like the guy that I'm going on a date with, whatever, he one time didn't text me for a whole day. And my petty ass waited 2 days to text him back.
Oh,
I know. But like, it's like, I'm just mirroring the energy. And this is not a game that I'll play for a long time. Like, if I'm really into somebody after like date 4 or 5, I'm texting you all the time.
4 or 5,
I'm going to text you all the time. So I think it like changes over time. But I make sure that like I text in a certain way. And I like to keep a little mystery in the early stages. Like, I want you to be thinking about me. That sounds terrible, but
I mean, who knew?
I'm a good texter.
It's crazy because I feel like I've dated a lot, but I don't put much thought when I'm dating. Like, I just kind of like do whatever I want. But I have noticed like with certain guys, they're definitely like playing a texting game.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, do I play back?
Yes.
But I don't know how to. That's the issue.
Listen, we can do a texting 101 or maybe in this case, texting 201. No, I feel like in the early stages, you have to be a little bit more
mysterious. But I will say I do have this, like, this is a really negative quality of mine, but I like have to over tell or over explain.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's say like I canceled on someone. I have to explain why, like what was my thought process of canceling and why I had to do it. When I was like, people have canceled on me and it's like, they're like, hey, sorry, like something came up or like,
and you're like, thank God.
I can't, and I was like, whoa, okay. I was like I didn't even put on my makeup yet.
Yeah.
But that's like a normal way to like text someone you're canceling. Yeah. I'll be like, I'm so sorry. I just found out 2 minutes ago that I have to do this big thing and I don't think I'll make it. I think I'll be like 20 minutes late and I don't want you to sit there for 20 minutes and I think we'll lose our reservation if we go like, I'll do a whole
That's a classic overthinker. Because, okay, if I'm talking to my friends and I have to do that, I absolutely overtype. But
I think that's why I over-explain with like people I'm dating.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh, sorry, I didn't respond to your text. I was taking a 1 hour and 23-minute nap. And then after I got up, I had to take a drink of water and that took about 5 minutes. And then I was like, God. I finally saw my text. But I saw your text earlier, but I forgot to respond. Like I'll like literally go all out.
Wait, that's so funny. I think also.
Because I want them to feel secure.
Yeah, no, don't do that. Make them feel a little insecure. Like, okay, here's the thing with me. I want to know I'm being chased a little bit. So I'm like, I want them to think about me. And are they going to send me that double text if I don't text within 24 hours?
You want to be chased like a little rat.
Oh my God. When I get a double text because I didn't respond. So you want to be chased
like Tom and Jerry.
I love Tom and Jerry. Okay, but that game only lasts for a small amount of time. As soon as they get me to put my walls down, it's over. It's game over. I'm texting you, good morning, handsome. I'm texting you random things like throughout the day. I'm like, oh, thinking of you. My favorite thing to do is texting nighttime. Oh, I'm thinking of you. Can't wait to tell you what later. Don't text them for 24 hours after that.
I'll never text someone that I'm thinking about them. Actually, one of the guys that I went on a date with recently, I asked him what his love languages were because, you know, clearly that's an issue. Like, one, our love languages aren't the same. I realize.
Yes.
That's a problem. And he's like, oh, he goes, what are the love languages again? So I'm reading it off and I was like, acts of service, like words of affirmation. He goes, oh, absolutely, words of affirmation.
Oh, you're screwed.
And I was like,
you're going to have to fine tune that one.
So I was like, wait, let me clarify. Like, is that how you like to give love or is that how you like to receive it? He goes, both. Like, I love giving words of affirmation and I love receiving it as well.
Okay. Interesting.
And I was like,
in your head, you're like, oh.
I was like, that's crazy because I hate compliments. I'm so uncomfortable when someone like is like, you know, like, hey, beautiful. I'm like, oh, I look disgusting today. What are you talking about?
I also hate compliments. So it's a hard one. But that's tough.
Literally the moment I said it, he's like, oh, what's yours? And I was like, acts of service is what I like giving.
Yeah.
And I was like, probably acts of service back. And I was like, I'm not really affectionate. I was like, I don't really give words of affirmation.
You're like, no, thank you. I've realized over the years now that I don't want to, you know, put myself in a box for love languages anymore. We deserve all of them. So he better be sending you words of affirmation, doing acts of service for you, doing all the things.
I don't want some of them though. Like, I don't need words of affirmation. I was like, you don't need to affirm me. I was like, I know I'm good.
Honestly, I feel like it also cringes me out, but I like it. It makes you feel secure. Not like I don't like compliments. It's more like make me feel secure in this relationship. Yeah. That's what I crave. You're like, no, none for me.
Like, I think physical touch is one of them. Also quality time. And I was like, that's crazy because I was like, I want to date someone who's always on business trips. I was like, I don't want to see you for half the week. And physical touch, I mean, there's a time and a place, okay? Like, I was like, I don't need you holding my hand every day.
No. Especially if it's hot out. No, thank you.
Like, no. I was like, we don't need to be cuddling. No. I was like, maybe once a week, but I'm trying to like, you know, cool down when I sleep. I was like, I don't
honestly, I also hate PDA. I can't stand it.
Same.
I just can't.
I want people to think we're brothers and sisters when we're walking down the street. I was like, I don't need you like so touching my shoulder. Like, no. I was like, you just stand behind me, okay?
Not brother and sister.
I want literally people to think we're like just friends. Like, you're my gay friend and we're just on a little walk.
I'm actually crying.
No, I was like, that's what I want. Like, don't act like you don't even know me.
Yeah.
Stay a few steps behind.
No. A few steps behind. That's boss babe thing.
I know.
Love that.
I was like, you follow me.
Yeah.
I'm the leader now.
You're like, I will walk on the side of the street, like towards the road.
Yeah, no. I'll walk on the road.
Honestly, no.
She's like, okay. No.
Can't be, but could it be me? I hate PDA, but I do like a protective man is what I've realized. Like, even with this dude that I'm going on a date with this week, I was like, I'm not lifting a finger. And I feel really good about that. Like,
you're like, feed me. You're like, you know what?
You would take it to that.
I'd be like, cut my steak and put it in my mouth.
That would be so cute. Our own version of Lady and the Tramp. Ew. But anyway,
have you asked him what his love language is? I always ask now after, you know, that whole debacle on Love is Blind.
No, and this is exactly why I don't want to text too much before going on all these dates, because I don't want to run out of things to say. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
I don't know. I'll ask everything under the sun.
Not on text though, like before the date.
Oh, via text.
Because then like, what are we going to, I mean, not that we're going to run out of things, but I'm like, I just want to save.
You'll find a way. You could talk to literally a camel. Like,
A camel is very interesting. Why was that top of mind?
I don't know.
Because it's hump day.
Yeah, because it's hump day. So we'll see how it goes with that guy. Because when he said words of affirmation, I was like, I don't know how to affirm you.
It's easy. Ask ChatGPT.
I was like, it doesn't come like,
naturally.
It doesn't come naturally. I feel like the way I show love is like the meaner I am to you, the more I'm like, oh, I really like you.
I think the pod besties know that because they watched your season. They watched your
I got
season.
ripped apart. They're like, she's a bitch.
They're like, what the hell? But that is your love language.
Yeah.
If you like pick on somebody, that means you love them.
Like I like being mean and then them knowing it's a joke and they know I mean the opposite.
Yeah.
It's like saying like, oh, you like look horrible. But it actually means you look really amazing.
I
like,
could see how that could be confusing for your partners. But it's okay.
You know, like.
And also, now that I think about it, you've been extremely nice to me the past few weeks. What's happening?
It means opposite. When I told you I liked your hair last week, it actually meant like, redo that. I'm just kidding.
Honestly, the hair game has been falling flat lately. I'm like, who cares?
That's what I was trying to tell you.
Yeah.
Like the moment I stopped being mean, I'm just like, like I'm just kind of trying to give you some criticism.
You're like,
yeah, some
your
feedback.
hair looks really nice. I was like, I should go change it.
No, that was me giving you feedback. That was me saying, go back into the bathroom and blow out that hair.
Yep. Yeah, that could be confusing for the men.
Like if their hair looks really good, I'd be like, God, like you left the house like that? That means like, damn.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yes. Honestly, I feel like whoever you're with just has to have not thick skin, but they just have to be able to understand your sarcasm.
Yeah.
And I think that person definitely exists out there for you.
Yeah. Either I have to change, which I won't at this age, or like that one guy with a weird sense of humor who's going to be so mean to me back. And I know it comes from a loving place. Like he means the opposite.
Oh, absolutely. Especially, at your age, you're not changing. Change is very hard.
Yeah.
So they're just going to have to adjust and cope.
No, exactly. Okay, so Deepti and I are renters, and we think every renter should be taking advantage of this. If you haven't heard of Bilt, you're about to thank me because you can earn your favorite airline miles and hotel points through Bilt just by paying your rent on time. I think that is so cool, and it's really going to help with our summer travel plans. Okay, Deepti, can you explain this to our pod besties?
Yes, so there's no cost to join, and just by paying rent, you unlock flexible points that can be transferred to your favorite hotels and airlines, a future rent payment, your next Lyft ride, and more. When you pay rent through Bilt, you unlock two powerful benefits. First, you earn one of the industry's most valuable points on rent every month. No matter where you live or who your landlord is, your rent now works for you. Second, you gain access to exclusive neighborhood benefits in your city. Bilt's neighborhood benefits are things like extra points on dining out, complimentary post-workout shakes, free mats or towels at your favorite fitness studios, and unique experiences that only Bilt members can access. When you're ready to travel, Bilt points can be converted to your favorite miles and hotel points around the world, meaning your rent can literally take you places. So if you're not earning points on rent, my question is, what are you waiting for?
So start paying rent through Bilt and take advantage of your neighborhood benefits by going to joinbilt.com/outofthepods. That's joinbilt.com/outofthepods. Make sure to use our URL so they know we sent you. Joinbilt.com/outofthepods to sign up for Bilt today. I'm excited for your date. Oh my gosh.
I'm excited for your date. Who are we?
What date? I'm just kidding. No, I've already had my dates. So
no, I'm excited for your other date.
We're gonna have to catch up with our pod besties when our dates are over. Though we don't have an episode next week. We're actually off having a little summer break, but we'll give you the full rundown in 2 weeks. Don't you worry.
Yeah. We haven't had a day off in a long time. It's gonna
know.
feel weird not to be speaking to our pod besties.
What are you going to be doing?
My family's coming in from Texas. My family's coming in. It's just my brother and sister-in-law and niece. So I'm just going to be doing a lot of family time.
That's so nice.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
But anyways, Nat, we should talk about your texting strategy because I am a self-proclaimed expert on the topic.
I'll show you my text. You could be my little guru.
Oh my gosh,
you could just send the text for me.
Oh, I live for this. I live for this.
They'll be like, wow, she's like really exciting and a really cool person all of a sudden. She was a little bit of a dry string bean for a second there.
No, he's going to be like, why are you sending me so many letters?
Why do I feel like attracted to you all of a sudden? Because I send text like I send a business email.
No, yeah. Cut and dry.
Very cut and dry. Like One time this guy was trying to get spicy in as we were texting. He's like, oh, do you like that? And I was like, no. But I thought it was like he was legitimately like asking a question. I didn't know like I have to like keep it going and be like flirty back. And I was like, no, I don't. I was like, so what did you do today? He's like,
okay, well then that's a no-go.
I know. And then he brought it up later on. He's like, you just really, you know, cut me off there.
That's so funny.
I had no idea. I was like, I had no idea you were like trying to flirt.
Oh, if
I didn't say that, but I was just like,
I'm so good at flirting on text. I will try to take every opportunity to turn a conversation spicy.
Yeah, no. If you're a jalapeno, I'm like texting with a pear, you know? Like it's not going anywhere.
No, it's like an apple. You're sweet, you know?
I'm like a little grapefruit.
The worst, but good for your health.
Yeah. While we're on the line of dating, I just saw on the news that Sophie Turner, who is from Game of Thrones and also Joe Jonas's ex-wife, she was seen with her ex, Peregrine Pearson.
Ooh.
Yes, his name is Peregrine Pearson.
Sophisticated.
She was seen with him recently, and they actually broke up last year after an 18-month relationship. This man is known as being the most eligible bachelor in London, so he's like old money rich. Like, I think his family is worth like $280 million.
Dang.
Yeah. And he has dated like princesses in other countries.
Wow.
Oh, he's also the son of a British aristocrat. So he's legitimately like
sophisticated.
Yeah. Like just, you know.
He's just top tier
British man.
Human.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But when I saw this, I was like, it always happens. You always go back, whether it's just once, just to see like, you know, let me just make sure it was a mistake.
Yeah.
Or if you just, you know, you realize like you miss each other.
Do you believe in right person, wrong time?
Only when like several years have passed. Like, let's say you're 18 and you break up because you're going to colleges in different states. And then, you know, I don't know, like you come back together again because you end up like in the same state at some point.
Yeah. I feel like you can go through phases with people for sure.
Yeah.
Like a high school sweetheart, like didn't work out, but then like 20 years later, you're both divorced and you reconnect or something.
But I feel like it depends on like why you broke up. Was it like a personality thing or they treated you wrong? Like I would never get back with any of my exes, even the ones that I've had cordial breakups with where it wasn't, anything didn't happen. It was just like we were incompatible.
Yeah.
I just feel like people don't change enough going from our late 20s into our 30s now for all of a sudden us to be a good match.
Well, you know, that's interesting because you're right. Like obviously characteristics are hard to change the core of somebody, but I do feel like experiences can change you. But you're right. I think it does matter what the circumstances are of your breakup. Like if you're in high school and you both go off to different colleges and it just doesn't work out. That makes sense. And then you can reconnect later. Yeah. But yeah, interesting. I don't know. I've been thinking about right person, wrong timing a lot lately.
Like who do you think was a right person, wrong time?
Oh, no one. I was just well, I think about it with like flings. You know, like, oh, I picked my ex who I stayed with for years over somebody who like had potential. And I think about that, but you know, they're married with 3 kids now. So
yeah, that's just wrong timing.
It's just wrong timing forever. Yeah, exactly.
The whole Sophie thing, obviously out of curiosity, I just want to be like, why'd you guys break up? Because when they broke up, they immediately unfollowed each other on social media or someone blocked someone or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
So I was like, I feel like you only do that. I guess there's 2 reasons. It was a bad breakup or you're just trying to move on and you don't want to see their stuff.
Yeah. Or maybe both.
Yeah, or both.
You know, what if they were like, Sophie, you're not good enough for the family? What if the family said that? I would cry.
Okay, she was royalty on Game of Thrones, so like she's good enough.
She was amazing on Game of Thrones. So
100%. So
yeah,
she is royalty pretty much.
No, she is.
Would you ever get back with any of your exes? Is there anyone that you think you would have like come back to?
No. Because
I feel like it's normal if you want to come back to them like a few months after breaking up, like you go through that stage of like missing them.
Yeah.
But I feel like for her to be seen with him again about a year later, that's like not the I miss them and I'm gonna go back, but like there was some thought there.
Yeah. And also not to mention she's a mother, so there's like other factors that go into it, you know what I mean? So I don't know. There could be a lot going on there, but I would never go back to any of my exes. Would you?
No. Actually, there's one. I feel like there is a little white rhino.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I don't even think about it. It's not an option because he's in a relationship.
Yeah.
But I feel like we weren't compatible in any way. He's just my white rhino because he was such a good guy.
Yeah.
I don't think we would have been great partners. It's like one of those things where you feel like it ended too early.
Yeah.
And it was like exciting because we met in Portugal and then we were like in this long distance thing. And it was just like, felt like the way we met was like so magical that I was like, oh my gosh, like this feels like a thing. And then obviously we ended up not working out. But when I think back to him and how different he was from me, like he was like, I want to just like live on a farm.
Yeah.
Like he grew up on a cattle ranch. So he like, he was like, this is what I want that in the future.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, no.
But at the time, you're probably like, oh, that sounds magical. Because you're just in this love bubble of like the way
No, at the time, I was like, I'm going to change him. I was like, he'll follow me into the city. I was like, don't you worry.
Silly me.
I was like, you think you want that? I was like, you're never going to have it. I don't know if anyone knows this, but I don't have a car in Chicago anymore, so I take the train everywhere. But I think it's time for me to start considering buying a car because I'm really struggling this summer. It's so hot out, so I'm like sweating when I walk to the train station and when I'm standing out waiting for the train. So car just seems really nice right now. But my goodness, car buying is so overwhelming. Like there's so many options out there, and I'm also trying to find the best deal. But in my searching process, CarGurus has become my favorite car shopping site. It has real price analysis, vehicle history, price drop alerts, and the best deals. So it's definitely making the process more exciting and less exhausting.
Yeah, having a car here in Chicago during this heat wave is my saving grace. But CarGurus is so good for car buying and selling. They have over 4 million listings, more car listings than any other major online automotive marketplace in the US. And they will connect you with trusted dealerships when you're ready. The whole process is hassle-free and super transparent. It's no wonder SimilarWeb estimated traffic data shows CarGurus is the #1 most visited car shopping site. So buy or sell your next car today with CarGurus at cargurus.com. Go to cargurus.com to make sure your big deal is the best deal. That's CarGurus.com, cargurus.com. I feel like in your 20s, you have like, you could try to make it work. You know what I'm saying? Like you're able to give a little bit more, but in your 30s, now you're just like set in your ways.
No, absolutely. I think in my 20s, I was so like go with the wind. I'd be like, oh, my ex wanted to do this and like live here. I would be like, yeah, absolutely, because I love you and I want to be with you. But when it comes to my 30s now, I'm like, I'm so determined to have the life that I want that I'm like, if you don't fit it, then we're just not compatible. Like, and we move on.
You still have some like wiggle room, but I was like,
of course.
If you really want a cattle ranch, like I was like, I think like looking at his social media, I was like, that man still wants a cattle ranch. He wants to live on some sort of, whether it's a cattle ranch or a farm, like he is moving towards that.
Oh my gosh, I would love to live on a ranch.
100%. I was like, he is on his way. That's all he talks about. But if we were together in our 20s, I think he would have had some wiggle room. But now I feel like it's like his, like that's where he's moving towards. Versus like maybe in my 20s, I'd be like, okay, like maybe.
I don't know. We say this, but then as soon as we fall in love, I feel like we're so easy to compromise.
I think you just go with the flow. Like you don't have any like hard boundaries. Like you're like, I'll just do whatever.
How dare you make me sound like this?
That's like amazing. It's it's, you know, where you're just like, nothing is like, you're so open.
Like the world isn't ending. Yeah, I'm very easygoing.
Yeah, you'll make happiness wherever you are.
Oh, absolutely.
If you're with the person you love. Like, I feel like you live on that mindset of like, the person I love is my home. Versus me, I'm like,
yes,
I have a home and like, you're going to try to fit in it. You know?
Yeah. Yes.
I feel like that's my mindset of like, you can't convince me to do anything anymore.
No, I'm easily convinced.
No, I really think you
go with the wind.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like you in love is different, but we'll see. As soon as you find that person, I feel like you'll be bending over backwards.
You never
doing
know.
Things.
I always think about this. Like I'll say stuff now and I'll be like, I'm not doing that. And then, in 10 years, like my whole Instagram page is going to be how I'm like, farming.
You're probably shoveling
Idaho. Yeah. I'll be making like
I can envision it.
My day in a life as a farmer's wife.
A trad wife.
Watch me churn my own butter and shape it into a cow.
You know what's funny? Not a cow.
Watch me make my own focaccia bread.
You know what's crazy is that I would love that life. I would love that.
I love a good grocery store bread.
Dude, you know what's crazy is I have been hating the city lately. There's just too many people everywhere. Like,
Look, and then we hear like the police sirens.
True. Like
that is my lullaby at night.
No, I hate it.
Like when I hear some like police sirens, I was like, you know what? I was like, it makes me feel good. The city is alive.
Nope. I've been using earplugs lately.
Oh, you're getting old. Yeah, you're getting sick of the city.
I'm getting so sick of the city. I need like a big backyard. I want my own space.
Yeah.
But the thought of moving to the burbs makes me cringe a little though. I don't think I could do it. I don't know.
Once you move to the burbs, you're not going back to the city. People say like once you feel the magic of suburbia.
Yeah.
There's no way. Like the city is like all of a sudden too dangerous.
Yeah. I want my dream kitchen. Like this kitchen is so... It's fine, but for those listening, I pointed to the kitchen behind me.
They're probably
I mean, it's great. It's just like,
yeah.
I can't see myself having kids and making them lunches in this kitchen, you know? I just need something more. Unless it's like a penthouse, I'm out. It needs to be on like the 48th floor where I can hear nothing.
If it's not a penthouse, I'm out.
I'm out.
No, I'm telling you, like once you make the move to suburbia, it's over. Like I talked to my friend who just moved to the suburbs and she goes, I feel like I can never live in the city again.
Yeah, well, it makes sense. I mean, like you're thinking about family, you're thinking about school districts, you're thinking about like, you know, just things that you wouldn't normally think about. I need more room for my dog.
She's like, once you figure out that you can go to like a Walmart, a CVS, and a Kroger's all within like 10 minutes. Like they share the same parking lot sometimes. And she's like, you'll never live in the city.
Yeah. And not to mention you have a parking spot.
Yeah.
She's finding a parking spot in the city is...
She goes, I don't ever worry about like going somewhere and being like, will I be able to park?
Yes. Because, okay, I do the same thing where I will go and put it into Google Maps. And then as soon as I see the street view, I have to look around 360. Where am I parking? What am I doing?
Yeah.
And do I have to walk even though I'm paying for a car?
No, 100%. She's all like, when my dog needs to go pee, I just let him out in the backyard. She goes, I don't need to take him out on a walk.
Yes. Oh my God. That's the only...
I mean, she still walks her dog, but you know what I'm saying. Like, she's like, if it's 6 a.m. and he just like is dying to go outside,
just open the door.
Yeah, open the door.
This is exactly why I don't have Pixel with me, because he's getting too old now to like... do the thing.
But before I get into the benefits of suburbia, like I don't want to do that because I feel like I'm convincing you and it just doesn't feel good. I feel like whenever could you walk to a bar and then on your way home stop by Taco Bell all on one block?
What's crazy is you're gonna hate me for this.
Yeah.
But I don't want to go to a bar and then go to Taco Bell after. Those days, I don't want those days back.
It was just an example, okay?
It was oddly specific because Natalie does.
Like on my way here, I was able to get my brows laminated. Where in the suburbs can you get your eyebrows laminated and walk half a block, make it to your friend's house and record a podcast?
Naperville.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. No, I know. I feel you. There's positives and negatives for sure. But like, why am I leaning towards I want a backyard? We'll see. You might be first to get the backyard.
That's true.
When I was at my friend's place over the weekend and I was just like staying there, I was like hunting for a show to watch and I was like, let me just watch something mindless while I scroll or something. So I turned on Honestly Cavallari, and that's Kristen Cavallari's new podcast tour reality show that's out. And it's not very good, so I wouldn't recommend it. But one thing,
which says a lot when you say it, because you love reality TV.
I love reality TV.
Yeah,
but maybe it's
even
because...
the ones that like we'll watch together, and Deepti's like, that was really good, and I was like,
I love reality TV.
Yeah,
but maybe because Love Island is taking over my brain, like it just didn't quite match up.
It just like it's not as fun to watch someone go on a podcast tour versus like someone fighting for their life on an island.
Exactly. One thing that really stood out to me though was she brought on her Laguna Beach season 2 cast members for one of the podcast stops.
I saw that.
And I don't know, the disrespect that was coming from one of the guys, Talon, was insane. First of all, how rude that he got so wasted that he basically like took over the conversation. And obviously she's the host, so she's like trying to drive conversation.
Totally.
And he completely like bulldozed it. And it was insane to me. And I was just like, ugh.
And she was like really pissed about it. She's like, he said some disrespectful things about like her sleeping around, like alluding to it.
Yeah, he was basically, one of the things he said was stop thinking with your chi-chi. And she's like, okay. And how, like, it doesn't matter how close you are.
Yeah, because it's her show.
Yeah. Like, why would you say that in front of people? And one thing she did say was like, oh my gosh, like, I get it. People are nervous. But why is it the first thing you do is put me down or attack me and my character to
That's so true.
kind of make yourself look better? And I was just like, that's the problem with these men that peaked in high school.
Okay, I was gonna say this because I remember watching Laguna Beach and I thought Talon was really good looking back then when he was like 16 and I was watching as a 14-year-old
Yeah.
around that age.
Yeah.
He was super nice on the show, but you know when it's like, you know when men just know they're hot and they have this like asshole like component to them?
Yes. There's a certain
They feel like
attitude.
they could like get away with like saying things and they can at the time, like when they're like hot in high school and college.
Yes.
Because they're hot, like they're able to get away with it. And then they stop being as attractive as they were, or like don't get as much attention as they did when they were in high school and college. But that like asshole component still lives on.
Yes, because no one checks them because they're married to their high school sweetheart and they just don't get checked.
Or their
enough.
ego is still big. Like,
yeah, that's
it just hasn't changed.
Exactly. And they haven't learned the life lessons that they need to learn like we did in high school to let them know like that behavior is no longer attractive.
Yeah.
But I feel that's exactly the energy that he brought to the stage. I don't know if you feel like this, but like when you hang out with your friends in high school, do you ever like it brings you back to a certain place in time, or do you feel like all of your friends have kind of like evolved with you?
I feel like it's kind of both, but I will say like there's a component when I am with my high school friends, like we kind of fall back into how we were in high school.
Yes. Okay. That's exactly what I was going to say is when my friends, my childhood friends came to visit me a few months ago, whatever, I felt like even though we've evolved and changed into different people, there's something about the mindset like we're back in high school. Like
the way we joke and stuff.
Yes. Like they were picking on me, which was fine. Like it's fun. And we do the same back and forth. Like it's that exact same mentality. And I fear that that's exactly what happened when Kristen Cavallari brought her Laguna Beach peeps onto the stage.
Because they all went to high school together.
Yeah. And back then it was totally acceptable to like flirt and be mean. But at this age, it's not. Like she's a mom.
And they're like 38, 39 now.
Exactly.
So it's like,
it's no longer cute. Like it's not
Meanwhile,
cute.
as I talk about how I have a mean sense of humor, everyone's like, not cute. No, I totally get what you mean. I'm like that where like with my high school girlfriends, even though they're like married now and some of them have kids, I feel like when we come together, which isn't often, but like when I meet up with them, we still go back to the way we used to joke as high schoolers. Yes. Like we do like kind of silly things.
Yes. And it brings you back into that mindset too.
Yeah.
But it's hard not to fall back into that same pattern of who you guys were together.
Yeah.
You
like
know?
like the dynamics of the group.
Yes.
I will say I love it because like I feel like I don't know, like high school for me was like so much fun and like it was just like a fun group of girls. So when we're together, I'm like, I love that we're kind of like immature again.
Yeah.
But with my high school girlfriends, we'll often chat about high school boys we dated or like who we thought was hot or like boys who were like very popular and what they're doing now.
Yes.
And I'm not saying some of those guys weren't good guys, but the ones that were like such assholes and had such big egos, they're not doing well now.
Never.
You know, like they're still assholes, but they look not as great as they did when they were in high school and college, yet they're still assholes. And I think it like hurts them.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like where, I don't know, you could just tell like they're not good people by the way they post on Facebook and things like that.
Oh yeah. Oh, Facebook. How old are you? I haven't been on Facebook in so long, but no, exactly that. When I go back to my hometown, which is not ever anymore because my parents moved out of it, but when we would go out for like Wasted Wednesday, which is the day before Thanksgiving, oh my God, like the bar would be full of people that peaked in high school. And I would think to myself, I was like, wow, I'm so happy I had a glow up and they had a glow down because it's almost like karma is like fixing everything in the world.
Like the people who deserve that glow down got that glow down.
Absolutely. Because they were such assholes in high school, which I get it. Like, you can be. But the fact that they're still like that, okay, this is crazy. But one of the guys who I thought was so attractive, like, do you remember back in the day when we would play MASH?
Oh, yes.
Oh my God. He would be like my Mary person. Anyways, he was so attractive. I saw him at the bar like a few years ago when I went out. And mind you, this man is married now to his high school sweetheart. And later that night, he sends me a message and he's like, we should like hang out
Was this
sometime.
recently?
No, this was like 3-ish years ago when my parents were still living in Bloomington. So, you know, obviously
I was like,
they moved out now.
I was like, have you been going out for Wasted Wednesday still?
Nope, I have not. And this is exactly why I don't want to ever go back to that town except to see some friends. Anyways. But yeah, how crazy is it that he messaged me that? And I was like, dude, you're literally married. And so the same asshole-ish egotistical behavior continues.
No, that's why as people in our 30s, I do love dating now that we're older and dating men around our age. Because I feel like, again, this is the age I feel like where it's really hard to change. And so what you see is what you get. Yeah. You know? And I was like, okay, you know who you're going to be with for the rest of your life, like based on their personality versus you date the hot guy in high school and marry them, or date like the hot egotistical guy from college and they stop being hot, but they're still egotistical.
We're all about personality and average looking men.
Yeah. And
I love that for us.
100%. So I was like, oh my gosh, I like that. Like now I could date people and know like this is what I'll probably get for the rest of my life.
Yes.
Unless they're hiding some shit, then that's like a whole nother story. But you know what I'm saying?
I agree. I feel like character speaks volume. And at this age, which is like in your 30s, your character has been established. Like you know what kind of person you are and you will exude that through your behavior.
Yeah. Before Love is Blind, I would date men where they did a lot of things I didn't like. Like they had like traits or characteristics, but I would naively think like they'll change.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
They'll change. And after Love is Blind, I'm like, no, they won't.
Yeah. We are no longer...
Like, change is really hard.
Yeah, we are no longer fix-a-hos. We are not in the mindset of fixing people anymore. You get what you get at this age.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to change, go ahead. But I feel like every single man, which is not that many, that I've like dated seriously, I've changed them for the better to be with the person that they deserve to be with.
You molded them for them to be ready.
Years of molding. And
have I ever done that to someone? No. I think back to all my exes. I was like, I think only one of them is in a relationship.
Yeah. My ex is married to the person that he told me not to worry about. So there's that.
Oh. Well, she should be thankful. You really like molded and fixed him for a little bit.
You know,
and now he's probably the perfect man for her. That's why girls have to have each other's back.
Yeah.
When like a girl starts dating my ex, I'm like, you know what? Enjoy that because like
I have crafted this personally.
I was like, I have fed him well for you.
He buys you flowers because of me.
Yeah, it's because of all my feedback and suggestions. Yes. He does it for you.
And I feel like I'm no longer going to be the cool girl in a relationship anymore. Like, I am making my actions intentional, my words intentional. Everything about the relationship is going to be intentional. It's no more, oh, it's okay, honey, that you didn't text me that you're going to come home late. Like, no, none of that. I'm no more BS.
And I was like, I'll be ready. I'll be packing my bags.
Yeah, exactly. We're setting the tone in our new dating era.
Yeah.
So I love that for us.
Yeah. I'm not lifting a finger like Deep T said earlier.
Woo!
Yeah.
I'm
going to be like, I'm just going to lay in bed, I guess. I don't know.
No, he's going to be lifting all the fingers.
And I love that our pod besties are growing with us. I think about this, guys, how we started this podcast more than 2 years ago now. Like, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
And I actually have listened to like older episodes where we talk about dating and our dating standards. And we'll still pull the, oh my God, we're strong, independent women. But you know, the way we think is a little bit still like toxic and unhealthy.
Yes.
And then now I feel like 2 years later, we're getting a little bit better and growing.
Yes, I love that. As long as we're growing.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of it has to also do with like when our pod bestie sends us DMs being like, hey, that wasn't a good way of thinking. And I was like, oh, yeah,
I love the feedback that we get. And you're right, we're growing together. And it's kind of like a groupthink mentality, which makes me really happy.
Yeah.
Because we can learn a lot just by talking and being vulnerable.
I know. Imagine 5 years from now from this episode. Like, what if we're both like found our partners?
Oh my gosh, can we have our kids on here?
Oh, okay. Like, let's calm down.
I feel like that'd be a great episode. But anyways.
No, I think that'll be really fun. I love that right now we talk about the standards we're setting for ourselves and what we want and what we don't want. And I hope in 5 years, like, we are in healthy relationships. And like people will grow with us. Or who knows, we might be single and I think that's okay too.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we like go through all these life experiences. But thanks for being on this journey with us.
Retweet.
Just a reminder, we do not have an episode next week. So enjoy your summer. Enjoy the break.
We'll see you in 2 weeks, pod besties.
Yay. In the meantime, make sure you leave a review and subscribe.
See you next 2 Wednesdays from now.
Bye.